Captain Taiwan Kim stood tall on the bridge of the Earth Envoy *. His ship was humanity's pride, the first vessel built to meet aliens. After decades of signals from space, humans were finally meeting the Galactic Consortium. "Captain, they're hailing us," said Communications Officer Han, her voice steady despite her excitement. Taiwan nodded. On screen, the view screen filled with the image of a being that looked like a tall blue humanoid with 4 eyes. It spoke in perfect English. "Greetings, humans. I am Ambassador Vraxith of the Galactic Consortium. We welcome Earth to the galactic community." Dr. Yun-Ji Park stood beside Taiwan. As the ship's xenobiologist, she had prepared for this moment her whole life. Yet something in the alien's tone made her uneasy. "We are honored to meet you," Taiwan replied. "We come in peace and friendship." The alien's upper eyes blinked. "Excellent. We invite your ship to dock with our station. We have much to discuss about your integration." After the call ended, Yun-Ji turned to Taiwan. "Did you notice how he said integration? Like we don't have a choice." Taiwan frowned. "Let's not jump to conclusions. This is a historic moment." The meeting room aboard the consortium station was vast. 27 different alien species sat around a massive table. Some floated in tanks. Others had too many limbs to count. All watched the humans with what Yun-Ji could only describe as caution. Ambassador Vraxith spoke. "The consortium welcomes humanity as a junior member. We will guide your development and expansion." Taiwan reviewed the terms on his tablet. The restrictions were significant. Limited colony worlds, restricted technology development, and consortium oversight of all human military forces. These terms seem very restrictive, Taiwan said carefully. A reptilian alien hissed. "New species must be guided, for everyone's safety. Your kind develops technology too quickly," added another alien with tentacles instead of arms. "It is concerning." Yun-Ji studied the room. She noticed how the smaller aliens seemed to defer to the larger ones, how some species barely spoke. This wasn't an equal partnership. "We need time to consider these terms," Taiwan said. Vraxith's 4 eyes narrowed. "Of course, but know that refusing consortium protection would be unwise. The galaxy is dangerous for lone species." The threat was thinly veiled. Later, as the human delegation discussed the terms in private, a small alien approached them. He looked almost like a gray fox standing on 2 legs. "I am Gai-Ho," he whispered. "My people joined the consortium 300 years ago. I must warn you." He glanced around nervously before continuing. "They fear your kind. Humans advance too quickly. Our records show that species like yours who refuse to slow down, they suffer accidents." "Are you saying they sabotage new members?" Yun-Ji asked. Gai-Ho's fur rippled. "I'm saying no species that developed as quickly as humans has survived more than a century after meeting the consortium. Be careful what you agree to." After he left, Taiwan looked grim. "We need to accept their terms, for now. But we'll be careful about what we show them." Yun-Ji nodded. "I'll start analyzing the data they've shared. Maybe there are clues about what happened to those other species." Taiwan stared out at the alien station. "We came seeking friends among the stars. Instead, we found politics and threats." "What will we do?" asked one of the junior officers. Taiwan's eyes hardened. "We'll do what humans have always done. We adapt. We prepare. And if they truly mean us harm—" He didn't finish the sentence. He didn't need to. Everyone understood. No one threatens humanity's future without consequences. 5 years had passed since humans joined the Galactic Consortium. The orbital station, Harmony, hung above Earth like a shining medal. It was built to show friendship between humans and aliens. At least, that's what the consortium said. Admiral Ji-hun Choi did not trust them. Not anymore. He stood by the window in his office, looking down at Earth. His reflection showed a man who had aged too quickly. Dark circles ringed his eyes. "Admiral, Analyst Lee is here." his assistant said. Jae-hun turned as Da-hyun Lee entered. The young intelligence analyst carried a secure tablet. "Show me," Jae-hun said. Da-hyun placed the tablet on the desk. The colony ship New Dawn didn't crash because of engine failure. I found this in the deep code of the navigation system. The screen showed lines of alien code hidden in the ship's computers. "Someone sabotaged them," Jae-hun said. His voice was flat, but anger burned in his eyes. "Yes, sir, and it matches code fragments I found in 4 other accidents over the past 3 years." Jae-hun's fist tightened. 300 colonists had died when the New Dawn crashed. People called it a tragedy. Now he knew it was murder. "Can you prove who did this?" Da-hyun shook his head. "Not directly. But the code uses consortium languages. And look at this pattern." He showed a map of human expansion. Red dots marked where ships had failed or colonies had suffered disasters. Every time we try to settle resource-rich planets or develop new technology, something goes wrong, Da-hyun explained. Jae-hun nodded slowly. "They're keeping us contained, limiting our growth." "There's more, sir." The next day, Jae-hun stood before the Earth Defense Council. The room was secure against all listening devices. "They're killing us slowly," he told the grim-faced leaders. "The consortium says they want to help us, but their actions tell a different story." He showed them Da-hyun's evidence. Then he played the recording. On screen, 2 consortium officials spoke. They didn't know humans had broken their encryption. "The humans are advancing too quickly. Their new propulsion research must be stopped. The facility on Mars will suffer an unfortunate accident next week. We've already placed the devices. The council chamber fell silent after the recording ended. 200 of our best scientists work at that facility, the defense minister whispered. "We can evacuate them, but the consortium will know we're onto them," Jae-hun said. The council president leaned forward. "What do you suggest, Admiral?" "We play their game. We pretend to accept their limits while building our strength in secret." "A dangerous path," someone muttered. Jae-hun's eyes hardened. "More dangerous than waiting for them to eliminate us when we're no longer useful." 3 days later, Jae-hun met with Captain Sunwoo at an isolated lunar base. The captain had been chosen carefully. His loyalty to Earth was absolute. "The ship doesn't officially exist," Jae-hun explained as they walked through a hidden hangar. "Neither do the 20 others like it." The sleek warship before them bore no markings. "No consortium technology," Sunwoo noted, impressed. "Pure human innovation. They don't know what we're capable of when pushed." Sunwoo nodded. "Where will we operate?" "Beyond their monitoring network. We're building shipyards in the Orc cloud. They think humans can't survive out there yet." Jae-hun handed Sunwoo a data chip. "Your real mission details. Trust no one who doesn't have this clearance code." As Sunwoo departed, Jae-hun's assistant approached. "Sir, the Mars facility." Jae-hun's face showed no emotion. "The evacuation. Complete, sir. But we left equipment running. As far as the consortium knows, it's business as usual." Jae-hun nodded. "Good. Let them spring their trap on an empty building. Meanwhile, those scientists are already setting up at the new facility." His assistant hesitated. "Sir, if the consortium discovers what we're doing, then humanity will be ready for them," Jae-hun said quietly. "They think they're hunting us. They don't realize they've awakened something that hunts back." Su Min-yang had once believed in the consortium. As a diplomat, she had helped build bridges between humans and aliens. Now, 3 years after the Mars facility accident, she worked in shadows. Her office was deep underground, far from consortium sensors. Around her, 20 people worked at computers, gathering information from across human space. "Su-min, you need to see this," called out Jae-wook, her assistant. She walked to his station. On his screen was an old file marked with alien symbols. "Where did you get this?" she asked. From our friend in the archives. It's a historical record, over 10,000 years old. Su Min leaned closer. The file showed images of a beautiful world with tall spires and flying vehicles. Then came images of destruction. The same world broken and burning. The Nimir, she read. They developed faster than light travel only 50 years after meeting the consortium. Jae-wook nodded. And then they had a tragic accident. Their sun suddenly flared and destroyed their homeworld. Su Min's blood ran cold. Natural disaster. The file says so. But look at these. He showed more files. More species. More accidents. All fast-developing species, Su Min whispered. All gone within a century of meeting the consortium. She straightened up. Send this to Admiral Choi immediately. Hajum Kang wiped sweat from his forehead. The underground facility was hot from all the machinery. Around him, engineers worked on a massive project. Test it again, he ordered. His team activated the device. A shimmering field appeared, covering a small ship. Sensor reading? Hajun asked. Nothing, sir, reported a technician. As far as consortium sensors are concerned, there's nothing here. Hajun smiled. After 2 years of work, the stealth technology was ready. Now they could hide entire installations from the consortium's watching eyes. Begin production immediately, he said. Every colony needs at least 3 of these generators. His assistant approached with a tablet. Sir, resource allocation is becoming a problem. The consortium is asking questions about the missing materials. Hajun frowned. They needed more metals, more rare elements, but taking too much would make the consortium suspicious. We'll need to mine the asteroid belt more aggressively, he decided. Tell Admiral Choi we need more stealth ships for mining operations. Across human space, a quiet preparation was underway. Hidden colonies were established in distant star systems. Secret factories built ships and weapons. People trained in silence. In a secure meeting room on Luna, Admiral Ji-hun Choi met with Su Min Yang and Hajun Kang. The consortium suspects something, Su Min reported. They've increased monitoring of all official human activities. Ji-hun nodded. How long until we're ready? Hajun consulted his tablet. The Shadow Fleet will have 50 ships within 6 months. The stealth generators are being installed at all critical locations. And the weapons? Ji-hun asked. Progressing. We've developed systems that can penetrate consortium shields. Su Min looked troubled. If they discover what we're doing, they'll strike immediately. They won't wait. That's why secrecy is our best defense for now, Ji-hun said. How's Project Sanctuary going? 7 hidden colonies established, Su Min replied. If Earth falls, humanity will survive. Ji-hun stood and walked to a star map on the wall. Small lights showed human worlds. Larger lights showed consortium strongholds. They think they're the hunters, and we're the prey, he said quietly. They'd done this before to other species, but those species weren't human. Hajun smiled grimly. We learn. We adapt. We survive. And we remember, Su Min added. If they move against us, they'll learn what it means to face humanity's full fury. Ji-hun touched the map. Spread the word quietly. Every human must know what's at stake. As they left, Su Min paused. The historical records never mention any species fighting back. They all just disappeared. Then we'll be the first, Ji-hun said, and perhaps the last species they ever threaten. The grand hall of the Consortium Central Council gleamed with alien metals. Representative Hyun-Woo Baek walked slowly across the polished floor. His footsteps echoed in the tense silence. 27 alien species watched from their seats. Some floated in tanks. Others perched on special platforms. All stared at the human with cold eyes. Supreme Counselor Vrax sat on the highest chair. His 4 eyes narrowed as Hyun-Woo approached. Representative Baek, Vrax's voice boomed. You were summoned 2 hours ago. Humans should understand the importance of punctuality. Hyun-Woo bowed slightly. My apologies, Supreme Counselor. The matter required proper preparation. It was a lie. Hyunwoo had delayed on purpose. Every minute gave Earth more time to prepare. Vraxth's upper eyes blinked. We have called you to address concerning activities among your species. A large screen appeared, showing images of missing ships and resources. Explain these discrepancies, demanded a reptilian counselor. Hyunwoo kept his face calm. Simple accounting errors. We are still learning your systems. For 3 years, snapped another alien. Your species claims to be intelligent, yet cannot master basic resource tracking. Hyunwoo smiled. We are working to improve. Vrax leaned forward. We have detected unauthorized construction at 9 different locations in your territory. Routine maintenance. Hyunwoo replied. Lies. Vrax slammed a 6-fingered hand on his chair. We know you are building weapons, ships, technologies you were not approved to develop. Hyunwoo's heart raced, but his face remained calm. They knew something, but not everything. Not about the stealth tech or the hidden colonies. The consortium has decided, Vrax announced. Humanity has proven itself untrustworthy. You will submit to direct oversight. All human military forces will be disarmed. Consortium supervisors will be placed in all human governments. The room fell silent. Hyunwoo stared at Vrax. And if we refuse? He asked quietly. Vrax's mouth twisted into what might have been a smile. This is not a request, human. It is your only option for survival. Hyunwoo looked around the room. None of the other species would meet his eyes. They knew what was happening. They had seen it before. I must consult with my government, Hyunwoo said carefully. You have 48 Earth hours to begin compliance. Vrax said. A fleet has already been dispatched to ensure your cooperation. In his private quarters, Hyunwoo sent an urgent message to Earth. His hand shook as he typed the code words that would trigger humanity's emergency plans. They're coming. A small alien entered silently. It was Gai-Ho, the same one who had warned humans years ago. They will monitor your communications, Gai-Ho whispered. This room is not safe. Thank you, old friend, Hyunwoo said. How long do we really have? The fleet left 3 days ago. They will reach Earth in less than 30 hours. Hyunwoo closed his eyes. So this is it. Gai-Ho's fur rippled with sadness. They have done this 17 times before. Different species, same outcome. None survived. What will you do when the fighting starts? Hyunwoo asked. My people will remain neutral. We cannot help you. I understand. You should leave the station soon. It won't be safe here. After Gai-Ho left, Hyunwoo sent one more message. This one went to Admiral Choi directly. Operation Defiance authorized. On Earth, emergency meetings convened. The message from Hyunwoo had triggered long-prepared plans. Admiral Ji-hun Choi stood before the Defense Council. The consortium fleet is already on its way, he reported. Our ambassador confirms they plan to disarm and control us. How ready are we? Asked the council president. We've prepared for this day for 7 years, Ji-hun replied. The Shadow Fleet is ready. Stealth generators are active around key installations. Hidden colonies are self-sufficient. The room was quiet as everyone faced the truth. Then we have no choice, the president said. We fight. Ji-hun nodded. Commander Yoon is already in position. When they arrive, humanity will show the consortium exactly what they've awakened. Commander Min Seo-yoon stood on the hidden command deck of Earth's orbital defense station. To the outside world, this station appeared to be a simple monitoring outpost. But behind its plain walls lay humanity's most advanced weapons. Consortium fleet detected, reported her tactical officer. 37 warships approaching from the jump point. Min Seo nodded calmly. Are they scanning us? Yes, Commander. Their sensors are active and scanning our defense grid. Min Seo smiled slightly. And what do they see? Exactly what we want them to see. Minimal defenses, a few outdated weapon platforms, nothing that could threaten their fleet. Around Minseo, her crew worked quietly. They had trained for this day for years. In another part of the station, AI specialist Jun-Ho Shin monitored a bank of special computers. These held humanity's secret weapon, combat AIs that could think faster than any alien commander. Minseo's comm unit buzzed. Admiral Choi is online. She accepted the call. Commander Yoon reporting. The diplomatic channel is still open, Admiral Choi said, but the consortium demands immediate surrender and disarmament. And our response, sir? There was a brief pause. Operation Defiance is a go. Show them what humanity can do. Minseo turned to her crew. Battle stations. Activate all systems. Jun-Ho, bring the AIs online. Throughout the station, hidden panels slid open. Weapons that shouldn't exist emerged from their hiding places. Power surged through systems the consortium had never detected. In his lab, Jun-Ho activated his creation. Combat AI network online, he reported. All units responding. The consortium fleet approached with confidence. Their scans showed minimal resistance. Their commanders had done this before with other species. It would be quick and easy. They were wrong. Admiral Axel Kra of the consortium fleet watched Earth grow larger on the view screen. His 8 tentacles moved with excitement. Pathetic defenses, he told his crew. The humans will surrender when we destroy their first satellite. His weapons officer aimed at a small defense platform. Target locked. Fire, ordered Selkra. The consortium ship fired and missed. The defense platform was suddenly not where it had been. What happened? Demanded Selkra. Before anyone could answer, dozens of previously invisible weapon platforms appeared around the fleet. Energy beams lanced out from all directions. Zelkra's ship rocked as alarms blared. Shields failing. Unknown weapon type. On the command deck, Minseo watched the battle unfold. Jun-Ho's AIs predicted every consortium move before they made it. The hidden defense grid fired with perfect coordination. 3 enemy ships disabled, reported the tactical officer. No casualties on our side. Minseo nodded. Transmit the message. On every consortium ship, screens suddenly showed Commander Yoon's face. Attention consortium fleet. You entered human space with hostile intent. You threatened our sovereignty. This was a mistake. She paused, letting her words sink in. We offer you one chance to retreat. Leave now, and you will live. Stay, and you will learn why humanity should never be underestimated. Admiral Excelcorus stared at the human woman on his screen. His ship was badly damaged. 5 more had been destroyed. The rest were surrounded. This is impossible, he whispered. Their technology is too primitive. His second-in-command slithered closer. Sir, we should retreat. Regroup with the main fleet. Zelkra's pride fought with his survival instinct. Finally, he gave the order. All ships, fall back to the jump point. Minseo watched the consortium ships retreat. Earth had won its first battle against the aliens who had destroyed so many others. They'll be back, Jun-Ho said quietly, with a bigger fleet. Minseo nodded. And we'll be ready. Send word to Admiral Choi. We need to activate the next phase. Behind her, Earth shone blue and peaceful in the viewport. Its people didn't yet know they were at war. But soon, every human would understand what was at stake. The fight for humanity's survival had begun. Deep beneath the red sands of Mars, General Sung Ho-Jang walked through a massive underground facility. The air hummed with energy from machines that officially did not exist. How many more days until completion? He asked. Dr. Ju-Yun Kwan checked her tablet. She was the lead scientist of Project Thunderbolt, humanity's most secret weapons program. 3 days for the first batch, she answered. Then we can produce 20 units per day. They stopped at a viewing window. Below, workers assembled sleek missiles with glowing blue cores. Will they work against consortium shields? Sung Ho asked. Zhu Yun smiled. Better than expected. We captured data during the first battle. Their shield technology has a weakness we can exploit. A soldier approached and saluted. General, Admiral Choi is calling. It's urgent. In the secure communications room, Admiral Choi's face appeared on screen. He looked tired but determined. The consortium is gathering a massive fleet, he reported. Our spies say over 200 ships. Sung Ho frowned. When will they arrive? 2 weeks, maybe less. Choi paused. We've captured a consortium officer. He revealed something important. You should hear it yourself. The screen changed to show an alien with 6 eyes and gray skin. It was restrained but not harmed. Your species was marked for elimination years ago, the alien said. The consortium saw your potential, your adaptability. It frightened them. Why tell us this now? Asked Sung Ho. Because I've seen your weapons, your technology. The alien's eyes blinked rapidly. You've accomplished in secret what took other species centuries. The consortium has underestimated you. After the call ended, Sung Ho turned to Zhu Yun. Show me everything. No more secrecy between departments. I need to know our true capabilities. Zhu Yun led Sung Ho to a massive door labeled Project Titan. 6 guards with special clearance stood watch. Beyond the door was a chamber so large it disappeared into darkness. Lights activated as they walked forward, revealing row after row of massive war machines. They were unlike any weapon humanity had built before. We reversed engineered consortium technology, Zhu Yun explained, then improved it. Sung Ho stared at the war machines. How many? 50 completed, 30 more in production. And the pilots? Don't need them. Each has an advanced AI based on Junho's work. They moved to another section where strange devices sat on testing platforms. And these? Asked Sung Ho. Shield disruptors. They create a field that unravels consortium energy shields. Nothing like this exists in known space. Sung Ho nodded slowly. What about the colonies? The Shadow Fleet. Fully operational. If Earth falls, humanity continues. Sung Ho looked around at the weapons humanity had built in secret. Years of preparation. Years of working in shadows while pretending to obey the consortium's rules. Activate everything, he ordered. No more hiding. No more waiting. On the command ship of the human Shadow Fleet, Admiral Choi received the update from Mars. The weapons are ready, his communications officer reported. Choi nodded. On the main screen, he could see the positions of 100 human warships. None bore official markings. All had been built in secret. Send the signal to all ships and colonies, he ordered. Operation Defiance Phase 2 begins now. He turned to his second-in-command. The consortium thinks they're coming to punish a primitive species. They don't understand what they've awakened. Will we attack them first? Asked his officer. Choi shook his head. No, we'll let them come, but we won't be alone when they arrive. He brought up another screen showing ships of designs he'd never seen before. Who are they? Asked his officer. Others who have suffered under the consortium. They'd been waiting for someone to fight back. Choi smiled grimly. It seems humanity isn't the only species with a hidden arsenal and a score to settle. Captain Do-hyun Choi stood on the bridge of the stealth ship *Vengeance*. His vessel was the fastest in humanity's Shadow Fleet. Even the consortium's best sensors could not detect it. We've reached the coordinates, said his navigator. Do-hyun nodded. They had traveled far beyond consortium space to a system with no name, just a number. Here, they would meet others who hated the consortium. Any signs of the contact? He asked. Nothing yet, Captain, replied his sensor officer. Wait. Detecting a ship decloaking to port. A ship appeared from nowhere. It looked like nothing they had seen before. All curves and strange materials that seemed to flow rather than stay rigid. They're hailing us, said communications officer. On screen, ordered Do-hyun. The view screen showed a being that looked like a mix between a tree and an insect. It had green bark-like skin and large compound eyes. "I am Grove Speaker Thixella of the Ceridian Republic," the alien said. "You must be the humans we've heard about." Beside Du-hyun stood Sung-min Ryu, Earth's diplomat for this mission. He stepped forward. "I am Diplomat Ryu of Earth. Thank you for meeting us." The alien's branches rustled. "Is it true? You fought the consortium and won." "Our first battle, yes," Sung-min replied. "But they will return with a larger force." "The consortium has oppressed my people for 2,000 years, said Thixella. "They limit our growth, take our resources, kill any who develop forbidden technologies." "Just as they planned for us," Du-hyun said. "Others are coming who share our grievances," Thixella added. "They have all suffered under consortium rule." Over the next hours, more ships arrived. Each one represented a species with their own story of consortium oppression. The Vrel were small, furry beings whose world had been stripped of resources. The Kirta were massive creatures who looked like armored bears. The consortium had forced them to serve as soldiers. The Novalians were beautiful, crystal-like beings who had once been powerful until the consortium restricted their technology. 7 species in total joined the meeting. Each had hidden their true strength from the consortium for generations. In the Vengeance's conference room, representatives from all 8 species gathered. Sung-min stood to address them. "For too long, the consortium has ruled through fear," he said. "They find promising species, restrict them, and eliminate any who grow too quickly." Heads nodded around the table. "We propose an alliance," Sung-min continued. "Together, we can challenge their power." A Vrel leader named Pip-Pip spoke up. "We have hidden tech and ships, but not enough to fight them alone." "None of us can win alone," agreed Du-hyun. "But together, we might have a chance." The Kirta commander slammed a massive paw on the table. "My people have 20 warships hidden in the outer systems. We are ready to fight." One by one, each species pledged their forces. When they finished, the alliance had nearly 300 ships. "We need a plan," said Thixella. "The consortium controls thousands of ships." Do-hyun activated a hologram showing the consortium's territory. "We don't need to defeat their entire fleet. We strike key points simultaneously. Their communication hubs, their fleet bases." The Novalian representative, a crystalline being named Lux, pointed to specific locations. "These are their power centers. If we disable them, their response will be slow and confused." As the meeting continued, a strategy emerged. The alliance would strike 12 critical targets at once. With the consortium in chaos, they would advance on its central worlds. "Who will lead this alliance?" asked Pip-Pip. All eyes turned to Du-hyun and Sung-min. "Humans are younger than all of you," Sung-min said carefully. "We would not presume." Thixella interrupted. "You are the first to fight back in 10,000 years. The first to offer hope. We will follow humanity's lead." Do-hyun looked around the table at these strange allies. Different bodies, different worlds, but united by a common enemy. "Then let us begin," he said. "The consortium believes they're gathering to crush one species. Instead, they will face the vengeance of 8. Fleet Admiral Yi-jun Park stood on the bridge of the Earth's Vengeance *, the largest warship humanity had ever built. Around him, officers monitored screens showing hundreds of Allied ships in formation. "All battle groups report ready," Admiral said, his second-in-command. Yi-jun nodded. "And the tactical AI network, online and synchronized across all human ships. Jinwoo has linked it with our allies' systems." In a special chamber below the bridge, Jin Woo-song sat surrounded by glowing screens. His tactical AIs were his life's work. Unlike simple combat computers, these AIs could analyze battles in real time and adapt strategies faster than any living commander. "Final check complete," Jinwoo reported through the comm. "The network is ready. All ships are connected." Yi-jun took a deep breath. This was the moment that would decide the fate of not just humanity, but 7 other species as well. "Send the signal," he ordered. "Operation Lightning begins now." Across consortium space, the attack began with perfect coordination. At the massive communication hub in the Vega system, 5 consortium monitor ships patrolled. Their sensors detected nothing unusual until 20 ships suddenly appeared all around them. The ships were a mix of human, Vrel, and Novelian designs. Before the consortium ships could raise alarms, precision strikes disabled their communications. The hub itself fell silent minutes later. At the consortium fleet base in the Orion sector, a similar scene played out. Ceridian and Kirita warships emerged from stealth, their weapons already firing. The base's defenses fell within minutes. All across consortium territory, 12 critical targets were struck simultaneously. Communication centers, fleet bases, shipyards, supply depots, all fell in a perfectly coordinated assault. In the consortium High Command Center, Supreme Counselor Vraxith stared at the strategic display in shock. Red alerts flashed everywhere. "What is happening?" he demanded. "We're under attack at multiple locations," reported his commander. "Communications are down in 17 sectors. Who is attacking?" "The humans." "Not just humans." The commander's voice shook. "We're seeing ships from multiple species. The Vrel, the Kirta, species that should have no military capability." Vraxth's 4 eyes widened. "Impossible. We've controlled them for generations. The attacks show advanced tactical coordination. Our commanders report the enemy seems to predict our every move." Vrax slammed his fist down. "Deploy the main fleet. Crush these rebels." Back on the Asterisk Earth's Vengeance Asterisk, Yi-Jun received the updates from all battle groups. "Phase 1 complete," he announced. "All primary targets neutralized." A cheer went up from the bridge crew. "The consortium is deploying their main fleet," reported his tactical officer. "They're dividing their forces to respond to all attack points." Yi-Jun smiled. "Exactly as we predicted. Jinwu is the AI tracking their movements." "Yes, Admiral. Their responses are following expected patterns. The AIs are already calculating counter moves." Yi-Jun activated the Alliance-wide communication channel. "All ships, this is Fleet Admiral Park. Phase 1 is complete. Begin Phase 2. Target the secondary objectives." The Allied fleet moved with purpose, striking new targets even as the consortium tried to respond to the first wave. Jinwu's AIs predicted the consortium commander's tactics and countered them before they could be implemented. One by one, consortium strongholds fell. Their vaunted technological superiority meant nothing against the surprise and coordination of the Alliance. 3 days later, Yi-Jun received a report that made him pause. "The path to the central consortium worlds is open," his officer reported. "Their main fleet is scattered and in disarray." Yi-Jun studied the star map. The consortium, which had ruled for millennia, was now fighting for survival. "Signal all ships," he ordered. "Set course for the consortium homeworld." Jinwu looked up from his screens. "Their homeworld defenses are still strong." "But not strong enough," Yi-Jun replied. "Not anymore." As the Alliance fleet jumped to faster-than-light speed, Yi-Jun thought of all the species the consortium had oppressed or destroyed. Today, justice would finally come for them all. The consortium homeworld glowed blue-green in the view screen of the Asterisk Earth's Vengeance Asterisk. It was beautiful, a world of tall spires and great cities that had stood for thousands of years. The heart of an empire that had ruled the stars through fear and manipulation. President Jiho Nam stood beside Grand Admiral Hai-Jin Kim on the bridge. They had traveled from Earth to witness this moment. "The consortium fleet is in position," reported the tactical officer. 300 ships protecting their homeworld. Admiral Kim nodded. "And our forces. 527 ships in attack formation, all systems ready." President Nam stepped forward. "Open a channel to the consortium leadership." On the main screen, Supreme Counselor Vraxth appeared. His 4 eyes showed fear for the first time. "This is President Jiho Nam of Earth," said the human leader. "Your forces are outnumbered. Your empire is falling." Vraxth's voice trembled. "What do you want?" "Unconditional surrender. The consortium will be disbanded. All species will govern themselves. Those you have harmed will receive reparations." Vraxth's upper eyes blinked rapidly. "You cannot destroy a civilization that has existed for 50,000 years. We brought order to the galaxy." "You brought oppression," corrected Nam. "You eliminated any species that might challenge you. How many civilizations have you destroyed? How many races have vanished because they developed too quickly?" The consortium leader was silent. "We offer terms more generous than you deserve," Nam continued. "Accept them or face the consequences." Vraxth straightened. "Humans are young and foolish. Even if you win today, we will rebuild. The consortium has always endured." The transmission ended. President Nam turned to Admiral Kim. "They refuse our terms." Kim's face showed no emotion. "As expected. Show them no mercy," Nam ordered. "They would have exterminated humanity without hesitation." The battle for the consortium homeworld began with a flash of light. The Alliance fleet launched its attack, weapons firing in perfect synchronization, guided by Jinmu's tactical AIs. The consortium fleet fought desperately. They had superior technology, but the Alliance had surprise in numbers, and they had humanity's secret weapons. Shield disruptors tore holes in consortium defenses. Titan-class warships smashed through their lines. Hour by hour, the consortium fleet dwindled. On the Earth's vengeance Admiral Kim watched the battle unfold. "Their outer defenses are breaking," reported her officer. "Our path to the planet is clearing." Kim nodded. "Deploy the final weapon." From the hold of the massive ship, a single missile launched. It was humanity's most terrible creation, a weapon born from years of fear and preparation. The missile struck the consortium homeworld's atmosphere and split into thousands of smaller devices. Each carried the same deadly payload, nanomachines programmed to break down everything they touched, from buildings to soil to living tissue. Within hours, the great cities began to crumble. The beautiful blue-green world turned gray as the nanomachines spread across its surface. In the consortium High Command Center, Vraxth watched in horror as his world died. "What have they done?" he whispered. His aide trembled. "The surface is being unmade. Nothing survives." Vraxth stared at the monitors. "Send the surrender signal." "It's too late," his aide replied. "They're not responding to our transmissions." For the first time in his long life, Vraxth understood true fear, the kind of fear his people had inspired in others for millennia. 10,000 years later, alien archaeologists explored a dead world. Nothing lived on its surface. Even the atmosphere was gone. "What happened here?" asked a young researcher. The expedition leader pointed to a metal plaque orbiting the ruined planet. It had survived the millennia, protected by a field of unknown design. The plaque bore a simple message in many languages. "Here lies the ECONSORTYM. They ESOUGG, our EXTINCTIN, but FO human their ON. Remember Earth. Remember humanity. Remember what happens to those who threaten us. We will not be forgotten, but nothing remains of those who angred us." The young researcher shivered. Who were these humans? "No one knows," replied the leader. "They vanished from the galaxy long ago. But every inhabited world has this warning in their oldest records. Never threaten humanity. For if you do, no one will remember you, because nothing will remain." The end.